Here is a video that nobody asked for and probably only one of my family members will actually watch, but I thought it'd be fun as we ring in the new year to take a look back at all of the trips that I had taken in 2021 and start planning ahead for my future travel for 2022. So at the end of January, beginning of February, I took a trip to Omaha, Nebraska with my sister to celebrate my cousin Alexis's 30th birthday. Now, if you know me, I'm originally from Kansas, moved to Nashville about 5 years ago, and that is to get away from the Midwest harsh winters. But it is only because I love my cousin so dearly that I braved the cold and went and celebrated her birthday in the dead of winter and barely missed a blizzard as we flew out. So, love you, Lex. Skipping ahead to May, I took a trip back to Savannah, Georgia, this time with my sister, her husband, and twin boys. So if you watched my solo trip to Savannah video that I did a couple months back, you know that I went there last year and had a great time. It's such a fun city to go by yourself, travel with friends, but also bring your kids. So we did a quick weekend in Savannah, had a great time exploring some parks, museums, went to Tybee Island, and the boys quickly found out that they are afraid of heights once we climbed the lighthouse. So how high was the lighthouse?
So high.
So high. Was it super high?
Yeah, and it scared me.
Then the next month we did our annual beach trip. So since moving to Nashville, I have gone with my sister and her family to the beach every year. We go to the Gulf, whether it be the Alabama or the Florida coast. Usually we alternate every year. This past June, we did a huge family beach trip with all of my siblings and my dad. So there's 16 of us that went to Orange Beach this time and had a great time with all of my family soaking up some sun. In July, I went to St. Louis, Missouri for one of my cousin's weddings, so had a great time visiting family, celebrating, and even went to the Blues Museum. In September, I took a girls' trip to San Antonio, Texas, so with my sister along with some of our friends from high school, had a great time visiting the Alamo, the Riverwalk, and if you watched my successful group trip tips video that I did a couple months ago, you can see some footage of that trip. Then for my favorite month, October, I went back to my hometown of Hiawatha, Kansas to celebrate my sister and I's birthday.
It is my brother Easter.
Wait, say it again.
Owen, it's 40.
Don't say that.
My name's Owen, and this is my Aunt Katie.
But also to watch the oldest Halloween parade in the nation. You can check that video out on my channel as well. In November, I went to Asheville, North Carolina, visited the Biltmore Estate, went horseback riding, and enjoyed being in the mountains. And then in December, I went to Athens, Alabama to celebrate Christmas with my sister and my nephews. So that was a lot of fun looking back at all the places I visited this past year. Let's start planning for the travel in 2022. I like to keep a list on my notes section on my phone of places that I already know that I have plans to travel and some thoughts and ideas of future travel to maybe start thinking about and put into motion. So for January, I already have a trip to Gainesville, Florida planned to visit my grandma, so I have that already marked. And then in May, I'm going back to Kansas/Nebraska for graduation. And then in June, every year, like I had mentioned, my sister, her family, and I go to the beach. So we already have that pretty much planned out. We're gonna be going to Fort Walton Beach this time in Florida. And it will just be us. It won't be 16 of us, so that'll be a little bit smaller to plan. We pretty much already have that planned. So now that I have the planned trips already written down, I can see where I have some free space in my year that I can start thinking about possible future travel. So I have a couple of international trips that have been on the back burner for a while. So I have a trip to Portugal with my cousin Erin, a trip to Ireland with my cousin Jess, that we'll try to see if we can fit in 2022, so those are some possibilities. Also, I subscribe to Scott's Cheap Flights mailing list, and so I get email notifications anytime there are cheap flights from my home airport or surrounding airports. So having some flexibility in my calendar, I can get those emails, see if that's a place that I want to visit, take advantage of those cheap flights, and then have some more travel planned in my year. So that is kind of what I have planned for the year. We'll see what changes. You can look forward to some videos. I'm gonna vlog my Florida trip so you can see that video upcoming soon. What trips do you have planned for the new year that you're excited? Comment below. Maybe you can spark some of my own trip planning and give me some ideas as well, and I will see you in the new year. Happy New Year!